Okay, now that you've measured the area of your hand, we're going to go on. We're going to find area of two-dimensional shapes. So two-dimensional means that they're flat. They're just like an up and a down type of thing. So three that we're going to start taking a look at right here is, first off, we're going to take a look at a triangle. So the formula to find the area of a triangle, well, you're going to take the base of the triangle times the height. So you multiply those two together, and then you will divide it by 2. The reason you're dividing it by 2 is because basically a triangle is half of a rectangle. A rectangle would be just the length times width, or base times height. And then, because it's a triangle, which is half, that's why you divide it by 2. So, you can have different kinds of triangles. So, for example, you can have your basic right angle triangle, like that. So this would be your base here, and that would be your height here. You could have another triangle that looks like this. Okay, so this is going to be your base right here, and then your height is right there. So the height of a triangle is always going to be at a right angle to the base. So you could have a triangle that looks like this. So again, here is your base. There's that right angle, so that would be your height there. So there are 3 samples of what different triangles could look like. And so just remember that the area of a triangle is always going to be base times the height divided by 2. Sometimes people will write it as 1/2 times the base times height. So it doesn't matter which way you write it, they mean the same thing. You just have to remember your bed mass. You're going to do the base times the height first, and then you're going to times it by 1/2. Okay, parallelogram. A parallelogram is basically like a triangle, like a rectangle, where it's kind of been pushed over. So the area of a parallelogram is simply base times the height. Okay, so here I've got 2 parallel lines, and then the sides are also parallel. But this is the base, and again the height creates a right angle to the base, and that would be your height. So for any parallelogram, you take the base multiplied by the height. The last one is a trapezoid. So the trapezoid looks like that, where one of the sides is a little shorter than the other side. And so it's a little bit of a difference. So it is the sum of the lengths divided by 2, and then times that by the height. And so what I'm doing here when I do the sum of the lengths and divide it by 2 is I'm finding out what the average is. So, for example, for a trapezoid, so again, the height always create a right angle. So this is side A, and this is side B. So for the area of this trapezoid, I'm going to take A plus B, add those together, divide it by 2, and then I'm going to take whatever that answer is, multiply it by the height. And that will give me the area of the trapezoid. So let's take a look at some examples here. Change my pen color. So the area of a room is 12 by 16. Here is my room. So this is 12 feet. And this is 16 feet. So the area is simply going to be 12 times 16. So 12 times 16, 192. So that is 192 square feet. So we have to remember to use our units, and you'll start losing marks if you don't put your units in here. The reason it's square feet is because I'm going feet times feet. So if I go 5 times 5, that's like 5 squared. If I go 10 times 10, that's 10 squared. So here I'm going 16 times 12, which is 192. I'm also going foot by foot, so I get square feet. Okay, so you can write square feet just like that. You could also write feet and then with a little 2 above it. Either way is fine. All right, here's another room. So this is 10 feet. This is 12 feet. So the area again is going to be 10 times 12, which is 120 square feet. Now instead of feet, if those were meters, then it would be meters squared. If it was kilometers, it would be kilometers squared. If it was miles, it would be miles squared. Okay? You always want to make sure the units are the same. You don't want to go one have meters and then one have kilometers. You always want to make sure they're the same units. Okay, here's a triangle that we're going to find the area of. And it doesn't matter what the triangle looks like. Okay, I'll just draw mine as a little bit of an obscure triangle just so you can get used to seeing some different dimensions. So the base is 9 meters. And the height, again, the height always makes a right angle, is 6.5 meters. So the area is going to be the base. Oh, let's just write it out so that you can base times height divided by 2. So that's going to be 6.5 times 9 divided by 2. So again, I do bed mass, so I'm going to do 6.5 times 9 first, which is 58.5. And then divide that by 2. So that works out to be 29.25, because it's meters times meters, it's meters squared. Okay, sorry I gotta keep pausing because my wife is yelling at me. Okay, this time we're going to do a parallelogram. Remember, a parallelogram is just like a rectangle that's been pushed over. So the area of a parallelogram is simply base times height. But this time we're doing that, and it's got a hole in it, so we're doing a combination of a circle and a parallelogram. So here's my parallelogram. But it has a circle in it. Okay? So the base of the parallelogram is 15.2 inches. The height of the parallelogram is 9.8 inches. And then the diameter of the circle is 5 inches. So in essence, what we're going to do here is we're going to find the area of the parallelogram, which is base times height. So I'll put my parallelogram here. And then we're going to subtract from that the area of the circle, which is pi times diameter. And then I'll subtract the 2. So what I will need to do first off is, so my base is 15.2, and I'm going to times that by the height, which is 9.8. So 15.2 times 9.8, 148.96. circle is 3.14 times the diameter, which is 5. .7. Here. Square inches. Either that way or that way is fine. So for the area total, it's going to be 148.96 minus 15.7. $133.26. Perfect. So it'll be good for you as you're going along to use these little symbols here. Okay, circle, T for total, and that will help you have any, eliminate any kind of confusions with you going along. All right, here's one more. We have a rug. The area of the rug is 225 square feet. What are the dimensions of the rug? Well, it could be anything, right? It really could be anything, because I know the area is 225. So I can choose a number. I see that it's divisible by 5. So if I take 225 and I divide that by 5, you can see it's 45. So the rug could be 5 by 45 feet. I could also divide it by 25. So if I take 225 and I divide it by 25, I'm going to see that that's 9. So it could also be 25 feet by 9 feet. Both are correct. We don't know. It could be either or. And there are some other options in there as well. Okay? So, try this out. When you do page 98, 99, numbers 1,